and welcome to my YouTube video, STO PVP 101. This is episode, I believe, 11. Sorry guys, I've been off for a while. Haven't made one in a while. It's been a week, I think a day more than a week, 8 days since I put out my last video. I apologize for not getting to it earlier, but I had some life to take care of, and also wanted to figure some things out game-wise, as after my last couple of videos was able to have extensive conversations with people, especially in the EPG category. And it's a category that, as I showed you guys over the last video or two, that I'm first starting to learn, which means I'm not going to be good at it until I continue to learn it. And that generally occurs from talking to people and getting information, and also really understanding the math of what works and what doesn't work. And before I made another video, I wanted to have a better understanding of that also through conversations with people. I think I've gotten a little further along. And before I go any further, please make sure to like my video and subscribe to my channel, and try to get these videos out a little more frequently. Hopefully do a little more than I've been doing lately. So let's move forward to what we want to talk about. And once again, we're going to talk about EPG, especially when you consider PvP with it, but I'm not going to show you a PvP example on this video. I will show you an elite patrol though, which I generally use for testing. There's a couple of them that are fairly difficult. Ships take a lot of damage till they blow up, and you really get to see the effect of how good your weapons are. Obviously they don't have the same type of resistance structure and hitting power and agility as PvP players when you're fighting them, but it does give you a good base view of what you're going to see as far as your damage output and such. So I'm going to show you that. We're going to try first, we're going to talk about EPG, and we're going to talk a little more about what makes it work from what I've gotten. And I want to thank my friend War, and I want to thank Proper Side Guy, who has made some comments which made me ask questions, this and that. And Side Guy, if you're watching this video, Side Guy, I want to get you on one of these videos. You're one of the more knowledgeable ones on this subject, and some of the stuff I really got from you through War and this and that. So thank you for everybody for educating me on it, because then this video will educate people looking to get into it themselves. Now, one thing that I won't do on these videos is, I've told you, I won't give you all the secrets of the house, but I do want to make you understand what makes what work and why it works. And let's start by talking about critical hit and critical severity with EPG, which has nothing to do with your critical hit and critical severity with weapons. So when you're running an EPG build, there is no need to put anything towards basically your critical hit or critical chance for weapons, because you're not really counting on them. In the skill tree, yeah, you want to adjust your torpedoes some, because on an EPG build, as I've been told and taught by people already, you have to use torpedoes as your basis for weapons. It's the most effective, and there's a couple of torpedoes there that are good to use with a side build. They'll give you extra things after impact and so and such. So critical severity and critical hit on the EPG side completely rely on your exotic particle generator and how many points are in it, period. So the volume of that lesson is that you could have all the bonus EPG damage you want. It's not going to matter enough if you don't have a lot of bonuses to your EPG, period. So you want to come up with a fair mix. You want to come up with a lot of as much bonus damage and exotic damage as you can get, but you also want to achieve that while getting the highest level of exotic particle generator points. And obviously there's only so many consoles and so many things you could add from skill trees, this and that, to increase those things. On a side build, you want to make sure you max out your exotic particle generator bonuses in your skill tree for sure when you're running a side build. From what I take it now and how I've redone my tree is, I've made my tree, and I'll go to my tree quick. That's not like a big industry secret, I don't think. I'm going to go to my tree quickly here. And you'll see that I went heavily on science and engineering. Survivability, control, drain, all that good stuff. Some shielding power, some regen power. Generator maxed out, long range targeting sensors maxed out, some science readiness. So you want to make sure you put plenty of points towards engineering as well, so you can survive in some. Survivability is a big aspect of it, and you want to, as I said, add EPG. And then obviously there is the conundrum of traits and what to do with what. Traits, there's a couple of staples, and I think everybody again knows what they are. They're not big industry secrets or anything. You want to make sure that you get improved gravity well, and you want to definitely get yourself what the heck is that again? Let's go back here, and you want to get the temporal anchor and the spore infused anomalies. Those, to me, from what I've seen, are the big three that you need to have, and you want to make sure you have those. And then you want to make sure you have your science station doing plenty of procking to make these spore infused anomalies go off, and you want your gravity wells to be as strong as possible, which means EPG damage and control. Why control? Well, control, understand what it means. Your gravity wells put out gravity. They're trying to control your enemies. The more control you have, the stronger your gravity wells are. So as far as consoles and whatnot, I once before talked about the 3 big consoles. Those are the must-haves for your bonus damage. Maybe some EPG consoles if you want, depending on what you want to use. EPG damage does not affect console anomalies, by the way, for those that don't know that. The item would have to say under it, things affecting this exotic particle generator or control or drain or whatever it is. So when you're looking at your items and you're looking at your abilities, understand what you're looking at. If you're looking at it and it doesn't say things that affect this exotic particle generator, the damage you see that console puts out is what it puts out on whatever anomaly it is. And then you're going to make your choice of anomalies. Obviously one of the more popular ones is the plasma storm. There's other options to use also, temporal vortex, depending on what you have, what ships you've gotten in the past. Not trying to break yourself bank wise to get every console in the world, but some things you must have and other things are not as important. So what we're going to do now is we are going to go in this patrol, and I'll tell you that I'm using the Section 31 Science Intel Destroyer. I'm using its intel abilities along with Exodus. For those that don't know what that is, it's a trait, Exodus Active Probit, and that gives you stealth. It's like a cloaking device, a recurring cloaking device, and like anything else, if you're using that, you have to decide what you're dedicating to it: auxiliary power, things to improve your stealth, etc., etc. So without further ado, we're going to go to the patrol section, and we're going to go to what's considered one of the harder patrols. First, I'm going to show you that we are set on Elite. As you can see right there, we are on Elite, and we are going to go to patrols. And one of the harder patrols that's considered probably, if not the hardest, one of the hardest, is preying upon the weak, which is in the Farn system. The Borg cooperative fleet has been disabled and sent the distress call. So we're going to go there and we're going to have some fun with this, and we're going to see how much damage it can do. I'm still getting better on the wheel with it. I'm not used to fighting this way, and this is on attack officer, by the way. This is not a science officer. This is attack officer. I do have a Psi over on the KDF side who's still incomplete. Has a lot of the stuff this guy has. Obviously, it'll be a little more effective with him and with my Psi on the Fed side, because they're going to have things like photonic fleet or whatnot. But this, I think, is looking pretty good, and let's check it out. So we are going to go to the Farn system and see what the Borg need us to do to help them. Now, these patrols all get repetitive, we know that, but at least when you do them on Elite, they pose some challenge, damaging you, and takes forever to take things like the big Juggernaut out. Thing can take damage like it's crazy. So, you go into Farn, considered to be one of the harder patrols when it's on elite. They can take a lot of damage. Juggernaut again, so it'll be a good test of what kind of damage I could do with this thing. Again, it doesn't mimic PvP, so anybody that thinks, oh well, it's killing it here, or killing it in PvP, that's not necessarily the case.
If you repair the damage on our
this is really just kind of a
we will be
damage
able to
test
work together against the Vaguar.
See what it can do damage-wise, and how long it takes to take out a big ship like that Juggernaut. Alright, dark mode, because I get a bonus coming out of it. Plasma wave, comments.
Solar flare imminent. The solar flares overload shields. We have damage, but they will affect everyone else.
Alright, you see I'm doing good now. Really fierce. Gravity upwells around the force. Gravity well. Science pop there. Pretty good. Gravity well. Plasma wave.
Cooperative vessels
See, I'm
have
getting a lot of
arrived.
pull between gravity well and the plasma storm. Gravimetric, which is more anomalies. We're having an anomaly party here. Pretty good. Surprising. Before I was at this stage where I wasn't really getting that, you know what, pushed in. But it made some changes since then, which I think would be better. And now that I kind of understand the math better, I'm coming up with my own thing, which is really the way to do it this way. This game isn't about making a build, you know, what can you do, or can I duplicate that? It's about figuring out the numbers and making a build that works for you. Really got me cascading subatomics that much because I've been whaling pretty much here. Wow.
Solar flare imminent.
As you can see, I'm using intel on the ship, which makes me hard to hit. I think you really, when it comes to a side load, you have two choices: tank it up or hard to hit. Hard to hit, to me, uses the same type of power. You're going for auxiliary power, so it means we just have to really go after one type of power. Of course, you need to be survivable. Hard to hit helps. That comes in as part of survivability. Got them going. UPG is consistent, spawning frequently. Science ability goes off.
The wreckage of your ship will warn the rest of your kind.
Reinforcements from the cooperative have arrived.
consistent.
Solar flare imminent.
Some good big criticals. When subatomics loaded up, that seems to be like the heavy hitter of the bunch, obviously. But again, I'm not going to play with it. Yeah, I guess, you know, RPG build is getting there. Building there. Going down. He's definitely combat, but he's a sitting duck, so just go to the top there. This damage. There it is. In Farn, hardly got
We are great.
touched.
Long range.
Went pretty quick, and it's there. So as I'm getting closer and closer to a better EPG build on my end by, you know, figuring it out and learning different things from different people, it really comes down to understanding the numbers and understanding what makes what work with what. As you saw in that fight, there were a couple of nice hits. There was consistent damage, which is nice. Obviously, when you're fighting people, the gravities, you really got to get your control up if you want it to have any effect, because everybody's got banging builds. When you go to Ker'rat, you got to be ready for whatever comes. But size hurt because size hit more than one people. You know, you get into group fights, size hurt. Trust me, I've been hurt. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed watching the fight that went on. And again, that was the Farn system Elite Patrol, and I cut through it like butter, and it's supposed to be one of the tougher ones. So thank you for watching this episode, and please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll get out another one as soon as I can, and I hope everybody has a very happy Thanksgiving.